Can everybody make sure they can open up the 6 key indicators? That's the file we'll be using. Also, just to double check, just to let everybody know, we are recording the meeting, so please know that. This will be for our group. That's why if anybody wants to in and out removing their last name, it's okay, because it gets posted for everybody. That's why I asked your first name and your location is the best kind of way to go, I think. If you're okay with your last name being on there, it's not a big deal. It's totally up to you. Okay, we got a few people done. Good. Everybody get that page open. A 6 key indicator page open. Now remember the golden key I was talking about. These are the files on the golden key. Some of them are in addition to that. But I'll start with the 6 key indicators. One more actual file I want to put. Does anybody? Okay, just want to double check. Who came in as a guest? Okay, no worries. Okay, we'll go another minute or so, and then we're going to jump in. And actually, right now, we can start. Does anybody have any questions, anything that you wanted to talk about before we get into it? A couple of people had some questions, had emailed me. I wanted to discuss it on the call. I'll be more than happy to do that now. I like to share a lot of stuff on the call just so everybody can benefit from it. Yeah, no worries, Phil. And everyone else, please just type in your questions and I'll answer them, and we'll all gain from that experience. Sebastian, I put up the terms and conditions of Schedule A. That's the one you're going to want to use with your realtor, okay? There's a bunch of, terms and conditions. Some don't apply to single-family home. Read through them. Anything that doesn't apply, where if it's asking for, because we have clauses in there that were concerning rent rolls and stuff like that. Obviously, a single-family home wouldn't have any rent rolls, right? There'd be no rent or income numbers. Does that make sense? You don't know what is rent rolls? That's just rent verification. Rent verification. Anything with rent in it, yeah, you don't need because it's a single-family home, right? So cottage plus boat really comes down to value. The boat itself would have to be valued as just another item. If they wanted us to consider that as part of the deal, really ultimately the boat would be just removed, or added from the purchase price. So I think that The bigger thing is looking at the cottage and what kind of income, if we're looking at it for an income property, what kind of income it could produce. And we'll talk about the 6 key indicators and how they can help us. So we didn't say much about the vote, but went down 20K on the price of the cottage. Okay, so we're going to walk through what we do on these calls, what we're trying to do, steps in reference to after we talk to somebody on the call. What is the realtor's cut? So the realtor is it's a buying realtor. They don't have a realtor, so you have to work that out with him. I would probably work with your realtor as establishing a relationship and other deals that you'll be working with them. But you can talk to your realtor and ask them what they would like in reference to this deal. So you want to put some of your questions up there? You can talk to them with the group. That's okay. Yeah, anybody has any questions, you can pop them up. It's okay. We have 9 new properties from yesterday. 3 for the weekend. That's great. Good job. Good hustle. Okay, so you want to throw up some of the? I can go over each one of them. Yeah, throw up any question that you want, folks, and we'll all learn from that experience. Like I said. Why don't we do this, Phil? Why don't we do this? Phil, why don't we set up a time tomorrow and we'll have a chat one-on-one. Okay, and you can go through those with me. That's okay. That's quite a few. That's excellent. And we can go through them together. So, yeah. It is a lot to type. Okay, so why don't you text me some times that you're available tomorrow, and we'll set something up. Something in the afternoon would be preferred for me, and we can do that. Can I upload my Excel sheet here? Yeah, the Excel sheet, the 6 key indicators is the main one we're going to be working with tonight. The copy of the cash flow sheet V4, that's something that we'll work on next week, okay? But everyone should have their 6 key indicators up right now. If you joined us a little bit late, we want you to download all those files and open up the 6 key indicator. My pleasure, no worries. Anybody else working on something right now that they need some help with? You're unable to view them. Are you downloading them onto a PC or how are you downloading them? On a tablet or the application? So if you open them up, you'd need on a Mac. Oh, that shouldn't be a problem. I use a Mac. So do you have Office on the Mac? Do you have Microsoft Office on the Mac? Oh, it should be no problem. They should all open up. What happens when you try to open them up? You can't find them? Okay. No worries. No worries. You know what? That's me on the back. I'll tell you. Same thing happens to me. I download files sometimes on my Mac, and it goes into the abyss. So is there anybody that's having any other challenges with these files? Yeah, go to Finder. Yeah. You can go to Finder, and basically that's your search. Does anybody else have any issues with any of the files? We're all okay? Finder's on the bottom left corner of your screen. Yes. Yep. There you go. You got tech support there. Hi guys, it's Daniel here. Mike and I don't see anything. Just wanted to make sure it isn't a video we are missing or live chat. No, it's there. There's a box with a bunch of files. What are you viewing it on? Do you see the box with the list of files? Is there sound too? Yes. No, you can everybody else can hear me, right? Yeah, okay. No, you can't see me. No, you can't see me. It's always fun the first meeting. It's getting things to, yeah. You got it. You got it. Life's beautiful. Yeah. Okay. I'm hoping Michael can get in and out again. Michael. Let's see if we can help Mike. Okay, does anybody else have any issues? We're good? Okay. I am green on this app. Oh, no worries. That's okay. They are in Finder. Good. Okay, we can hear you now. Yay! Awesome. That's good. All right. So, can you see the files, Michael, to download? No, Dean, you're good. You can just type it in the main box. That's okay. There's no homework or anything. Just those files. I wanted you to download those files, and you're good to go. Cool. You should only be able to see sound. See sound. Hear sound. Yeah. Right now it's just seeing sound. It's sound only. Okay. So, does anybody need more time with those files? Everybody have them? Where are they? Dean, are you able to see? Are you able to see the screen where it says files right here? I'm moving it around. Everybody see that? All these files can be uploaded. Does everybody see that? Okay. Does anybody need more time? If anybody, at this point, if anybody doesn't, just at the very bottom I did. Yeah, copy of cash flow sheet 4. Did everybody get that one? Good. Good. You have it? Good. Emily, good. Craig, yeah. You have it? Yes. Yes. Good, good, good. All right, hold on one sec here. Dean, what are you using, Dean, for your application? What are you using to log in with? Do this, Dean. Anybody who doesn't have the files at this point, it's okay. Just email me. Yeah, what device are you using, Dean? Are you using a laptop, a PC, Mac, what are you using? A phone? You can log in with your phone. Android phone or Android laptop? Phone. Okay, that's why, Dean. So, Dean, send me an email right now that says, Sam, can you please send me the files? Okay, good. All right. All right, so here we go. Okay, so let's just review real quick the tasks of the week. Everybody's got them anyways, but let's do, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 files. Yep, 13 files. You got them all. Okay, let's do tasks of the week. Real easy. No, all you got to do is send me an email that you'd like them emailed to you. That's not a problem. Okay, so day 1, create separate email for real estate. I hope everybody had a chance to do that. If you haven't, just do this is tasks for the next couple weeks, okay? Just by the end of next week's Tuesday call, most of this should be done, but by the end of the week, next week is fine, okay? So create a new email, right? We want to create a separate telephone number. That's freephone.line.ca, but I'm not endorsing anything. I'm just letting you know that there's phone numbers, free services on the web that you can get. Okay, that's the phone number you're going to tell people, right? Not give people, tell people, or sorry, you can give it to them, but you're not going to put that on your business card at this point. I'd rather you didn't. Just your email and your name on that business card. If you remember us talking about that. Create a business card, right? Vistaprint. You can go to. There's lots of different ones. There's lots of different ones that you can go to get that. It's really easy. I wouldn't invest in too many cards. 250 is fine. 500 max with business cards, because at some point you're going to create a business name and you'll want to use new cards. Okay, but I like to keep the business card simple and easy. I think that's the way to go. It's up to you ultimately, but simpler I think is better. Can you send me an email right now? It just says that you're looking for the file specifically, just so I can respond to that email. That's okay. Yeah, I can go back a slide. So this was create a telephone number. You can do Skype. You can do I want to say Comfree. There's a couple different services out there that you can do that. I wouldn't spend a ton of money on it. You don't really need to. And obviously keep all your receipts for all this stuff, okay? Because that's going to be, something that you're going to want to write off. The first slide was email. So create a separate email, right? So separate email. Actually, you know what I'll do? Just so everybody gets this. So separate email. Create a separate telephone number. Create some business cards. Create a space in your home, business space in your home. Okay? Make sure that you keep that area sacred. You don't want to do anything in there except business. Keep all your receipts for all office supplies. Okay? And last thing that's not on here that I wanted you to do was just to get a log for your a log for your mileage, kilometers, okay? Let me upload another file here. Let me tasks of the week. Let's see. Give me 1 second. There you go. So I added another file at the bottom. It says tasks of the week. So you can click on that and it just covers the same task. Okay? Give everybody a chance to do that. So right now, okay, so let's do this. Okay. So I want to make sure that if anybody has anything going on now that they need help with, to let me know. Right now, Phil, we're going to talk tomorrow. Okay. Is there anybody else that's working on anything right now? That they need help with? Okay. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. Okay. So let's do this. Give me 1 second. So because there's a few of you that need some help right now, I want to make sure that we get some stuff covered on the call, and I'll explain a couple things I want you to do before I talk to you tomorrow about these properties and steps. But I have no problem, setting up a time for anybody that needs to talk one-on-one tomorrow about anything that's going on that's pressing. Otherwise, we'll continue with email communication and if needed, always if needed, I have no problem talking to anybody one-on-one on the phone, okay? We have to. But primary communication is going to be through email, and like I said, 24 to 48 hours of weekends. Our weekends and holidays are my family time, but 24 hours to 48 hours will be response time. Okay, so let's do this. Why don't I just do this right now? Hold on 1 sec. 1 second. Just looking down the list. Okay, so Bill. All right. Okay, so let's do this. Do one more. You have to give somebody a call back. That's right. After this call tonight. Okay, can you? They left a message for you to call them back tonight. For what? Tell me where we're at with this deal. Phil, why don't we confirm a time right now, Phil? What time's good for you tomorrow? Why don't we go early afternoon? Is 1:30 okay? No? Okay. What time? What's the earliest you can talk? Okay, you made a call. No worries. Okay. When are you back from that, Phil? We can do it in the evening if you want. That's okay. Free after 4:30, available early morning before 11. Okay, let's do this. Let's go. So let's go. Okay, so let's go 10:30. How's that? Does that work? Oh, evenings are great? Okay, let's do evening then, Phil. I'm good with evenings too. Do you want to go 8:30 tomorrow, p.m.? Good. Okay, there you go. Okay. Antoinette, it was a call you made Saturday. Okay? So, Antoinette, you're going to call them back or leave a message that you're going to follow up with them on Thursday. Okay? Collect all the information you can. Me and you're going to talk tomorrow. Okay? Does that work? Okay. So, okay, are you okay for 1:30 tomorrow? No? Okay. What time is good for you? After 5? Let's go. Then how about evenings? Are you good with evenings? Okay, let's go 8 o'clock. How's that? No, you know what? Is 9 too late for you, Antoinette? It is? Okay. No problem. Let's go 8 o'clock then. How's that? 8 o'clock? Good. That's your slot. Anybody else that needs to talk to me one-on-one, they're working on something right now that we can't take care of right now. I just want to make sure that you're covered. Everything's covered. Everybody else is okay? Nobody else needs anything? You might? Yeah, I know, my friend. You keep working on what we talked about. You're good. You're good, okay? If you run into something, though, let me know, okay? Yeah, no worries. Sebastian's working on a deal right now. We might have $80,000 equity into it. He's already had the realtor check for it. It's looking good. You're not blind, my friend. You're good. Okay, so everybody else is good, is that right? Yeah, it looks good. We're pretty excited. Okay, so anybody else need anything? Everybody else is good for now. We can communicate through email. Want to make sure everybody's supported. We're good? All right. So I like to give you what you need when you need it, than jumping on everything at once. What's that, Dean? 10 to 4? What's that mean, Dean? Code for okay. Is that right? Is it really a code for okay? Rubber ducky. Oh, is it code? Oh, 10-4. Oh, I got it. Trucker, 10-4. Okay, CV, got it. All right, let's do this. Let's open up the 6 key indicators, okay? Everybody open up your 6 key indicators. Okay, because I'm going to share my screen right now. We're going to go through it together, okay? So let's do this. Okay. So share. I'm going to share my screen with you. Share. Share. Do this. Share. Open. Oops. All right. So give me 1 second. Hold on, folks, 1 second. I just gotta. Apologies for the delay there. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna share my screen, and you're gonna see my screen, and we're gonna walk through the 6 key indicators. Okay. My screen. Okay, good. All right, that's email. Okay. All right. So the black thing you see there in the corner, that's my box, so I can see your questions. Okay, so I can't get rid of that really, because I need to be able to see what questions you're asking. Okay, so everybody's got this open, correct? Good. Sound is okay? Everybody can hear me? Good. Excellent. Okay. So this is what we're going to do moving forward. Okay. So we can search for properties, and after we find potential property, we need data, information. And right now, I just want you to start with the gross revenue. Right. I want gross revenue from the property when we're talking about income properties. Okay. So gross revenue, and let's try that again. And purchase price. Okay, so gross revenue and purchase price are probably right now the most important things for us. Okay, so if we have the purchase price and the or asking price, right? You can put the asking price. If it's the same, it's the same. Okay, and we want gross revenue. Now the number of units, again, easy for us to get. So these four things we need to get from someone when we're dealing with income property. Okay, based on those four metrics, we're going to be able to quickly evaluate a property to see if there's any potential at all. Okay? The way we do that is this. So we put in the asking price. Let's go $200,000. Okay? Right? Asking price or purchase price, $200,000. Let's say. And let's say we're just going to double the number of units. And the gross revenue is $40,000 a year. Okay? So now, $200,000 property, a unit, $40,000 gross revenue. That's gross from all the rent. Okay, that's all the income that comes out of this property, and that's pretty easy to get from somebody. Those aren't hard things to ask for. What's your gross revenue and asking price? And typically, you'll see these things in the listing. Right, it won't be a problem at all. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions so far? We're good, right? We understand what gross revenue. That's from the rent that come in. The total amount for the year. We want the gross revenue for a year, okay? Then we see that the expenses on this property, we can. It's right now it's sitting at 50%. 50 is pretty safe. It could be pretty safe with 50, but we could, we could get that down to 35%, which is originally it was 30%, or 35% that we can use. Right now it's sitting at 50. Why don't we do this? Simplicity. Go back for a sec. Okay. Forward. Okay. There we go. All right. So 35% is it's getting harder to hear you. Oh, okay. Is that better? Is that better for everybody? Okay, good. All right. Okay, hold on 1 second. Better. Let's put it right there. Okay? How's that? Is that good? Perfect. Closer to. I got a speaker that I used to do that. So anytime the sound gets low, just let me know. And I have no problem. I'll turn it up or move the speaker around to make sure that we can hear. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. So 35%, $7,000 in expenses. Net operating income. Okay. So what does net operating income mean? That means after I paid my expenses on this property and I take it away from my gross revenue, that's going to be my net operating income. Does everybody understand that? So net operating income. Okay, good. Now, after I have net operating income, I got $13,000 in net operating income. I have to deal with financing. So financing, bank financing, just a standard, right? We're going to say 75% is going to come from the bank, right? 75% is going to come from the bank, $75,000, right? 15,000 is going to come from seller financing, and 10,000 is going to come from me. So we got that? Okay. So that's going to equal 100%, $100,000 in total percentage. Now, financing, principal, and interest, this, we call it James Bond. The James Bond, 007. So if you multiply your financing, the total amount you're financing, by 0.007, that'll give you a good idea of what it would look like if we invested in this property with creative financing. Does everybody understand that? So we just use that as a quick calculation. It's not completely 100% accurate. We we would actually work out the mortgage numbers, but 0.007 would be a good, fair estimate of what it would cost for creative financing, what it would cost us per month. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, good. This is a quick calculation sheet for you to decide whether it's worth continuing to look at. Okay? So at the end of this, if we take $8,400, right, this $8,400, which is the amount it's going to cost us, estimate creative financing, away from this $13,000, right? We take 84 away from 13,000. That's going to give us the 4,600. Does everybody see that? So if we have the financing is going to cost us $8,400 a year, we got to take that away from our net operating income, because that's net operating income is before financing. After we add the $8,400 for financing costs, we're going to walk away with $4,600 net amount from the property. That's after we paid all our expenses and we financed the property. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody's good? It's calculating. It's calculating a combination of around 7%, but it's basically around, because some of your money is going to come at bank rates, which is 3%. Some of your money is going to come at creative financing at 10%. I can tell you the James Bond number typically overestimates the cost, which is good. The 8,400 came from 0.007 times the financing, the amount that we were financing. Does that make sense? So if you multiply, so if we take the amount that we're financing, the amount, which would be in this case $90K. It takes the whole amount for creative financing to calculate the 0.007 to work. Just what I can tell you is this: the 0.007 is not, it's not 100% accurate. I'll give you an example. Let me show you something. Let me show you. You know what? Let's come back to that. I want to make sure we have time to understand this sheet. But just use the sheet to calculate it for you, and then we'll talk about the amount. So it's actually D5 purchase price, D5 $100,000 times G10, which is the 0.007, right? And let me see. Hold on one sec. Sorry about that. Divided by 12. Do you see that? See it? Okay, good. Excellent. Okay. All right. So let's continue. Is everybody okay with that now? Don't worry. The cash flow sheet is actually more precise on this. The cash flow sheet version 4. But this is a quick calculation for us, right? Okay. So let's go down here. Now, all these numbers, all we got really from the seller is, or the listing is, purchase price and gross revenue. That's all we really got. Purchase price, gross revenue, and obviously the number of units for the property, okay? Now, this will generate, the rest of the information will generate automatically. We come down here, these are the metrics, the 6 key metrics that we're looking at, okay? So cost per unit, which is $25,000. It says 50,000 or less. I don't want you to worry about this one right now. Don't worry about the cost per unit, because it's something that you don't have to worry about until you get multiple units, if you were doing 10 or 20 units at a time. But this is sort of the market rate. What's the market per unit in a multi-unit? But don't worry about that right now. That's not important for our lesson today. Okay, so let's start with GRM. Okay, so GRM is going to be the first metric we're going to look at. So what is GRM? GRM stands for gross rent multiplier. So gross rent multiplier. Everybody got that? Gross rent multiplier. Now, how do we calculate gross rent multiplier? Well, gross rent multiplier is the purchase price, so PP, purchase price, divided by gross yearly rent, gross rent per year. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? So gross rent multiplier is calculated that way. Oops. Does that make sense to everybody? Right, gross rent multiplier? Now, gross rent multiplier needs to be 6 or less. Okay? So this is the point. If you had with gross rent multiplier, if you had simply the gross rent and the purchase price, you had the gross rent per year and purchase price, and your number is above 6, you have to recognize if you don't have 6 or less, it's harder to cash flow that property. Okay? It's harder to cash flow that property if it's not 6 or less. So we want the number to be lower, not higher. Everybody understand? We want the number to be lower, not higher. So because this property is 100K, we divide that divided by the gross rent, which is 20,000. And that's what gives us the gross rent multiplier of 5. Does everybody see that? So 100,000, should be zeros, and 20,000 for gross rent. That gives us equals this divided by this gives us the 5. Does everybody see that? Now, if this was 200,000, the gross rent multiplier would be 10. Is that good or bad? 10 good? No, it's bad. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Right? So if this was 50,000, the gross rent multiplier would be 2.5. So we want a lower gross rent multiplier. So gross rent multiplier is just saying, of my gross rent, how many times do I have to multiply my gross rent to get the purchase price? So in this case, if I multiply my gross rent multiplier 5 times $20,000 from gross rent, that would give me the purchase price. Does everybody see that? Does that make sense for everybody? Yep. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, smart group. Okay, cap rate. What does cap rate mean? So cap rate is, let me just move this up here for now. So cap rate means, so we're looking at cap rate. Cap rate is the ROI if I paid cash for property. Okay? So if I paid cash for property, that would be, lost sound? Sound is gone? Can you hear me? Yeah. Majdi, can you hear me? So if anybody has sound issues, it just disappears. The best thing to do is to log in and log out. Okay. So we'll let Majdi log in, log out. Okay, so cap rate, if I paid cash for the property, that would be my return on investment. Does everybody understand that? So if I pay $100,000 cash, right? And if you look here, my net operating income is how much? $13,000, right? So after I pay my expenses, the money I actually keep, the net operating income is $13,000. What would be my return? So $13,000. So I go equals this divided by this, which is 13, which is basically the same as the 13 cap rate, 13%. Does everybody understand that? Everybody still with me? You guys still there? Okay. Kind of left y'all. All right. Does that make sense to everybody? So, do we want cap rate to go up or down? We want a higher cap rate or lower cap rate? Take a guess. Up. Yeah, we want the cap rate to be up. So if this was 50,000, the cap rate would be 26. That'd be awesome, right? It's return, right? So we want it to be higher. If it was 200,000, then it would be 7%. Okay? So we want cap rate to be higher. That's what we want cap rate to be higher. Okay? That's cap rate. Okay? So let's look at our value of the property. Our estimated value of the property is 130. Where did we get that? Right? So even though the property is 100,000, we're saying it's worth 130,000. Anybody want to take a guess? Our value comes from cap rate times income. Okay? Now, cap rate is not really a percentage. It's listed as a whole number. So even though this says, let's go 100,000, cap rate is listed as a whole number. So this would equal this times 100. So your cap rate really is 13. 13% is the return. It's the same thing. Sam, can you please repeat how the cap rate is calculated as my connection was lost? Sure. So cap rate is income, net operating income, right? Net operating income divided by purchase price. Okay? This, go insert. Okay. Let's do this. This. So cap rate calculation equals NOI divided by purchase price. And because I put an equal sign, I think it's the formula. So we're just gonna fix that. Okay? If you don't pay cash, then you would not need this calculation. Well, you use this calculation. I'll explain why you would still use this calculation. Cap rate's pretty important. There's a reason that we use a 10 cap rate. Okay? I'll get into that. Okay? So, 1 second. Just got to open the room for my other group. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to stop the share for a second. I just got to open up the room for my other group. Okay? Hold on 1 sec. Okay. All right. Thanks, folks. I appreciate your patience. Okay. So, so if we were talking about the net operating income. Give me 1 second. Let's go back to that sheet. Okay. So there we go. Everybody sees that? We good? Everybody's back to the sheet. Everybody can see it. Can you type in yes? There you go. You guys are great. All right. Okay. So cap rate, we're going to come back to. I'm going to get deeper into cap rate next week when we go through the cash flow sheet. Let's just go through this, and I'll promise I'll go deeper, and I just want to step you into it. Okay. So cash flow. That's how cap rate's done. Then we see cash flow. Now the cash flow, the minimum we like to see for our cash flow is 75 a door. Okay, 75 a door. Okay. Does anybody need further explanation on that? That's basically just we've taken the income. So if we look at cash flow per unit, we want 75 a door. $75 a door. Okay. There we go. And all it's doing is it's calculating. So net operating income divided by 12. That's 12 months, right? Divided by number of units. Okay, so there we have how much? We have 13,000 in gross monthly yearly income. We're going to divide it by 12 months, and the number of units we have is 4. Okay, so that would equal this divided by this divided by this. Boom. That gives us $270. Did I change the number of units? What did I do here? 13,000. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. Not 13,000. It is this because of the financing. My apologies. 4,600. My apologies. Okay. Everybody get that? My apologies for that. So we got, it's not net operating income. It's actually the cash flow, right? The cash flow. My apologies. Cash flow. Okay. We see that? Cash flow divided by 12 months, but divided by the number of units, 46 times 12 divided by 4. That would give us the $95. Everybody good with that one? Good. Good. Awesome. Awesome. Good stuff. Okay. Let's do the last one. Cash on cash return, which is based on how much cash we put in. Okay. So the cash we put in. So let's do that. So the cash we put in. All right. We put in, how much money do we put in this deal? Do everybody remember? Yeah, exactly. So our money in the deal divided by what? Our money divided in the deal, actually it's the other way around. It's return divided by the money. Okay? So it's our return, our income, our yearly cash flow divided by our money that we put in. Does that make sense? Yearly cash flow divided by our money. Okay, so we made how much did we make? 4,600, and our investment was 10,000. Okay, so it equals this divided by this gives us the number. Okay, so that's the percentage. Okay, does that make sense? Good. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so now when we get information about a property, I want you to use this sheet and start putting the information in. Okay, so over here we have asking price, purchase price, number of units. Really all we need from the person is the purchase price or asking price, number of units, and gross income, and the sheet will do the rest. If we have a cap rate less than 10, say the cap rate, and this is a very important number here, Okay? Cap rate. The cap rate we need is 10. Okay? And do you remember what cap rate tells us? Everybody remember what cap rate tells us? Why is the cap rate so important? Cap rate, ROI if I paid cash. Okay? We always start as though we paid cash for cap rate. The financing numbers can change, the cost of the financing can change, but the cap rate is the cap rate. Okay? So the cap rate is important to us. Now, let me explain quickly, just slightly getting into cap rate and what it means. Okay, and why is it so important? Why do we need a 10? Okay, cap rate. Okay? So the reason is if I had a $100,000 property, if I had $100,000, Sam, would the purchase price be the price on the closing the deal after the seller agrees to the price? Yeah, it would be the purchase price, the actual agreed upon price. But in the beginning, you're going to start with the price that they give you, right? So the purchase price, and these will be the same, right? Asking price, purchase price, for the sake of argument right now would be the same, maybe. But if you knew you were getting the purchase price was going to be, say, $90,000, then yeah, you can put in $90,000. It'll change your numbers as it should, but $90,000 is, is right. So, and that's the other way around. $100,000, would say it was $100,000. That's what they're asking for. Like that again, and we said, oh, we negotiated $90,000, right? Asking price, purchase price. Just for the sake of math and stuff, just do it. Just put in the same numbers, just for now, so we don't get confused about that. This is just initially understanding, because Majdi, after you get, if you get a good number in here, if you get a good number, these numbers look good. If these numbers look good, then we're going to take it to the cash flow sheet, the fourth cash flow sheet. The cash flow sheet, version 4, okay? So the asking price shouldn't take into account that. Not really. What they're asking for really doesn't matter, really. What we believe the property is valued at is really the most important thing, and we always value our property based on the income, and the income for here is $13,000. That's really what it's about for us. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to everybody? We really tell them what it's worth based on income. We don't care. If we don't make money on it, it's worthless to us. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? If it doesn't make money for us, why do we want it? We're not interested in it. Okay? All right. So last little thing I want to talk about is, why does the cap rate need to be 10? So let me explain. So if a property's $100,000, this is the purchase price, and it's $100,000, okay? And I'm working with a cap rate of 10. What does that mean? What's that mean? It means that I make 10% on this property. So equals this times this. Does everybody understand? Like a 10% return, right? This needs to be a percentage. My apologies. There we go. Does that make sense? So if I pay my bills and my expenses, I'll make $10,000 on this property. Does everybody see that? If I paid cash, right? This is important. If I paid cash. Now, the reason this is important to us is because if I paid cash for this property, that purchase price is $100,000, and I made $10,000 after I paid my bills, right, net operating income, how much money can I spend on financing and still make money? Well, I could pay 7%, just as an example. I could pay 7% for financing on the whole amount, the whole $100,000. So if I paid 7% on the whole $100,000, how much would that cost me? 7%, so this would be interest. How much would that cost me? So if I was paying 7% interest, how much would it cost me a year, right up against the whole value? Well, equals this times 7%, which will cost me $7,000. Does everybody see that? Everybody understand that? If I finance the full 100,000 at 7%, it would cost me 7,000. Everybody's with me, yes? Now this is a cost, right? This is a cost, okay? So I'd have to say to myself, now if I'm making 10,000, I'd have to take away minus, I'd have to minus what? I would have to take this, and this is going to be a cost, right? So I would take, so equals this and this, and that would give me $3,000. Exactly. So this would be my profit. Okay? $3,000. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? Okay, now watch. Watch this though. What if I change my cap rate to a 5, to a 0.5, 5 times? Look what happens. If I'm only making 5%, before even financing starts, if I'm only making 5%, a 5 cap rate, look what happens. I can't afford to do any sort of creative financing. If I do any sort of creative financing, I'm going to lose money. It's not going to be worth it to me. Does everybody see that? If I'm a 7, you know, decimal 7. I'm a decimal 7. That's 70%. If I'm a decimal 7, right, I'm break even. That's break even for any creative financing for cap rate, okay? So I want to keep my cap rate at what? 10, right? I want to keep my cap rate at 10. That's going to ensure that I can do creative financing. Does that make sense to everybody? Awesome. So this is what I'd like you to do. We're going to wrap up. This is what I'd like you to do. I'd like everybody to run through this sheet, play around with it. This video, I'll give you access to this video and let you know when that's going to be available. If anybody has any questions, please email me in between. I have the two times for the 2 people that I'm going to talk to tomorrow. Otherwise, this is our first session. How was it? Was everybody good? Did we learn something? Awesome. Awesome. Yep. And this is what it is. I want you to show up every Tuesday to get that support and that knowledge, and you won't believe where you are. My pleasure. You won't believe where you are in a year. You won't. I'm telling you, it'll blow your mind. So I'm excited for all of you. I'm going to be there helping you all the way, and I want you to, I want you to reach out if you need anything in the interim. Okay? Awesome. All right. Okay. So, any other questions before we wrap up? If you're good, type in yes. My pleasure, Messi. Yeah, I'm going to set up the recording. No worries. I'll let you know when that's available, yeah. Okay? Awesome. All right, everyone have a great night. Keep hunting, keep working. Please, everybody get on the portal and start watching the on-demand, please. Once you get into momentum, start learning right now. We learn and we earn. And if you need anything in between, you reach out and you get my help, okay? Awesome. Everybody have a great night. And I will see you all next week, Tuesday. What time? What time are we meeting next week? 8:30, exactly. That'll be the last meeting at 8:30, and then we'll move to 9:30. But for right now, it's 8:30 next week. All right, folks.